Dumelang ko hae lebitso ke Refiloe, a dating and relationship coach, bringing you tonight's installment of Mjolo with Refiloe. Now, when it comes to modern day relationships, there's a lot of pressure being placed on women, and men are sort of, given, they get away with a lot. That is the feeling around the room. And tonight I've got a marriage advocate and a young man who wants to speak to all our gentlemen at home. Welcome to the show, Tulani.
Thank you so much for having me tonight, and greetings to your listeners and your viewers at home.
Welcome, and I want you to just introduce your organization so that it frames our discussion today, so that they know that you believe strongly in marriage. Go ahead.
All right, lovely. I'm Tulani, should I say the co-founder with my wife of Celebrating Marriages. We are an organization that is advocating for marriages. We are just trying to bring a different voice in our society that is so speaking bad about marriage. So that is what mostly we do. But on my personal space, I'm a big MC. I'm an MC and presenter. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be talking us through marriage in the 21st century today. Why is it that traditionally? It's still, I think, it still happens today, because I hear of incidents where was a shata, the wife or the female in the relationship, and then the males are sort of, get away with, just being how they were before umshato. Not that things should change, but nobody really counsels or frames your role as a husband to you the way they do for makoti.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, generally we are living in a society that, we've been living in a society that actually is so unfair to women. And they let us get away with a lot as men. For example, when a girl is a child, usually when you take that child to the shop, you buy the kind of toys that you buy for that child. You're already preparing her mentally that you're going to be a mother at some day. And this is what a mother does. You're buying izitsha, you're buying for that child. Compared to us as guys, when we're growing up, we're not the kind of toys that we get to play with. It's your guns. We get to just spin amakusheshe, and we're not being prepared to be a husband. We're not being prepared to partake in this whole family building structure. So that's usually, I feel, the challenge that we are having, and that's a narrative that I feel it needs to change, which is very important to bring men into participation. Men must learn to participate, especially in relationships, in family buildings. They play a huge role. Because I was checking some stats as well. They say when you go to a prison, usually when you ask a prisoner what actually went wrong, 90% of those, they will tell you that my father was absent. I never had a father, or whatever the case may be. But it's usually always linking back to the father. It's usually linking back to the men in their life.
And what initiatives does your organization do to counter that? Because I can actually hear that the passion is there for us to think differently when it comes to coaching young boys, young men into husband or father figures that, contribute positively to society.
Oh, okay. We're still working on a lot of things. We are still building. At the moment, we do gala dinners for both the husband and the wife. So it's a couples gala. And we do couples workshop. And then to bring in that element that you're asking about, we do family days where the father and the mother bring their kids. We go set up everything at the park, music, slides and everything. We get to play family games. So those are things that we're trying to bring into society to say, you know what, as a father, it's not necessarily that you always have to be out there. Be present in your children's life. So on a family day specifically, that's where I'm a family group, and then we compete as families or whatever the case may be, then we enjoy ourselves.
I like that family day, and I think maybe soon I will attend one of those, because there really isn't enough outdoor activity that takes into the whole family. There's usually, stuff for couples or stuff for mummies or stuff for dads. There's really never events that incorporate that as a whole. Now I want to just challenge you a little bit and ask you, in the 21st century, which is where we are operating now a family looks different. Man, woman, 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 man, man. You know, are all those people welcome in your organization, or do you have specifics?
We are more of a faith-based organization, and our vision is clear. We are based on a Christian background. If ever you want to come, you can come. We're not saying don't come, but don't now come and try to make us change our narrative or change what we are trying to achieve. So everyone is welcome.
No, I'm talking in the context of family. You know, that the family looks different now. And there's also the conversation around blended families, you know. Mom has kids from previous relationship. You know, all of those concepts exist in the society of now. So if we are raising our kids into a society that we want them to obviously contribute positively, those people are present. So are you saying now, you know, just their presence you accept, but there's other things that about what they represent that wouldn't be welcome?
Yes, there are certain things like you're saying that they represent that wouldn't be welcome. That is the honest truth.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, just taking it back to the roles that a husband plays, like we've got traditional values where the man belongs, you know, maybe making money and, you know, bringing home the bacon, the provider, protector, and the woman stays at home. Also speaking about modern day relationships, that's been flipped on its head a bit. So do you speak to your men about that, and how is it that you coach them around, you know, belonging and still contributing to the relationship non-financially?
Look, our position will never change as men. It's so unfortunate that we're living in a society that is trying to move our position as men. And it's so unfortunate that we're living in a society that is more uplifting to the women. Because even, for example, with the gender-based thing, I usually take it back to the fact that men are no longer getting opportunities. And if a man can't provide that thing on its own, it can cause trouble, because it's not easy to accept that you can't provide for your family. Because naturally, as a man, that is your number one goal. You want to take care of your family. You want to provide for your family. And now we're having ladies that are educated and to adjust to that thing that, okay, my wife is the one who's working and I am not working. It can be a bit of a challenge. But it's a conversation away at the end of the day. You sit down with your partner, you talk about it, engage on these things, then you'll be able to find solutions.
I want to challenge you a bit more after break. Let's take a quick ad break, and I will ask him about the woman that's providing when we get back. Welcome back to Mjolo with Refiloe. We're talking all things the responsibility of males that needs to get elevated in today's relationships. Now, Tulani is a representative for Celebrating Marriages, an organization that really wants to bring back family values in the community, and something I'm very proud of, actually. Well done on that, because not a lot of people are bringing solutioning. You know, everybody's got a complaint, but nobody's rolling their sleeves and doing something about it. Earlier, we were speaking about the roles of a man and a woman in the home. Now, we've spoken quite a bit on the show about gender roles and how different people are navigating out there, but when it comes specifically to providing for the home, what are you doing for the men that find themselves that maybe they are unemployed, or maybe they are, you know, earning a basic salary and the woman is bringing the bulk of the income in the house?
It's a hard pill to swallow. Generally, as a man, you know, they call us those ego species. You know, our egos get easily bruised. You know, that's why it's not so easy to take it that my wife now is the one who's being the fat paycheck here. You know, but it goes back as well to the woman that you are in a relationship or you are married to. That how does she treat you? Don't make me feel small because you're providing. Don't make me feel like I'm a loser because you are providing. I mean, like, you were saying, things change. This is life. Things change. Tomorrow you might wake up and then you're no longer being in that position. Then I have to take that position. You wouldn't expect me then to ill-treat you or the manner in which I speak to you. You know, as long as you respect your husband, because it usually gets back to how you talk to your man. We take it so hard on how you present whatever that you want to present to me. So how you speak to me because you're a provider, it will play a huge role in whether this thing will succeed. You know.
Is that not projecting though? Because usually when the man ends anyhow, does he also have to watch how he speaks to you?
Definitely. It goes both ways. I mean, respect is the order of the day. No matter how, I always say this, especially to my wife, no matter how angry I've made you, let's never lose respect for each other. Respect me. The same thing that you expect me to bring across. Be ready as well to do the same. As much as we respect each other, then you'll be able to flow. If you're in a space where you feel like, you know what, whatever that you're going to say, it's not going to come right, come down and ask for a time out and tell them, hey, please, let's just park this and then we'll talk about it, or whatever the case may be. But always find ways on how you address things. Don't just speak anyhow, because you can't take back those words.
Agreed. You can't take back those words, and sometimes, you know, you guys may forgive each other, but they, you know, have left a sore that, you know, you can't reverse, and you act out in the relationship based on those words. Now, do you get a chance to, only you or only with other male leaders, have male-led conversations, and what do those sound like in a way that makes men take more accountability?
You know, I've been privileged to come from the church that I come from. We even have got a ministry called Men's Fellowship.
Yes.
It's only for men. We go there, we talk, we cry. You know, so in those talks, and you realize that even the people that you look up to, they've got moments where they are vulnerable.
Of course.
The people that you look up to, they've got challenges that they're struggling with. So it's easier then to have a conversation around different things, and you find a safe space to actually speak your heart or speak your challenge, you know, and then find out from other men, how is it then, how are they dealing with such a thing, you know? So it's a moment of coaching each other to say, you know what, no, but when I was faced with this challenge, this is how I took it on, or do it like this. Let those, especially those that have walked the journey, let them help you. It's very important.
Yeah, I like that, but more importantly, I want to speak to you about changing the mindset around being a husband and a father figure, or being, you know, the male in the relationship when it comes to, yes, it's nice for us to advise each other, but how much of the narrative are we changing as a group of men to say, maybe we saw things this way 20 years ago, but now our women are, the women of today, she's got different needs that have been suppressed. You don't want to, you know, have situations, you know, our mothers, they played both roles because our dads went to go work in Gauteng and, you know, never really came back or played the role that they do. So what sort of discussions or initiatives or active things do you participate in to really shine more of a positive light and make men rise up more than, you know, blending in the background and sticking to what they already know?
Okay. You know, we've grown up in a space where things have been defined in a certain way. Traditionally, they are saying men can't do this. It's for women. For example, when it comes to cooking, one of my mentors is such a good cook. And he is a man. You know, when you go to his house, you will find the wife really is chilling on the couches and he's the one who's cooking. So that's some of the things, even myself, I've taken that upon myself, that, you know what, even on some sort of a roster in our house, there's days where I'm the one who's cooking. I must make sure that I cook to show the family that, you know what, that is part of me caring for my family. That is part of me showing other men, you know, even when my friends come over, they see me doing those roles. Then they realize that, you know what, that is what I think we are doing as part of changing the narratives. Doing those things that have been deemed as for women. You know, I change by my daughter's diapers.
Love it.
I do that. You know, I play that role. I make sure that even if Umama, she's not around, I bath the child. There is nothing wrong with that. You know, those are some of the things that I feel I am doing to change the narrative of other men. Even though
so
sometimes
you are
it makes
living...
you look weak. You know, it makes you look weak sometimes, but
Talk
That
to
is
me
what we're
about
trying to
that.
change.
It makes you look weak. It makes you look soft. And that's usually they're saying, when it's a mother doing it, they're parenting. When it's a dad doing it, they're babysitting or they're assisting. They're helping.
They're helping, yeah.
They're helping. The woman, and you want to get to a place where, because you have a daughter and a son, you don't want to raise your daughter up to believe like she's going to be of service to somebody, in a marriage, or for because we may tell our children these things, right? But what they do the most is model them against, what they are seeing. And I think I have great respect and I commend you, even though one would say you can't praise a fish for swimming, because in my view, there's that partnership, right? If now I'm away all weekend, what's going to happen to the rest of the roles that I usually perform, that are around the house? So I want to just, take it a little bit there when we come back from the ad break. Let's take a quick ad break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mjolo with Refiloe, sitting with Tulani of Celebrating Marriages. Now, I've enjoyed this conversation a lot because you put yourself, inside what you are preaching in your organization. And for me, it's beautiful to see. It's what I believe should be the norm, but I guess we are all going there as a people to where we are going to realize that we've both got something to contribute, and it can look and sound anyhow. Like sometimes like even a relationship, and sometimes it's for me to admit that I can't cook. Like I can't do it and then something you enjoy and then you do that. Cooking just being a small example. But talk to me about, the romance factor and being viewed by your peers as being soft when you spoil your woman, or you do things for like rubbing her feet, or do things that, express or show the love that, exists within your relationship.
Oh yeah, Ish. It's the most painful part is the locations that we come from, especially our upbringing. We usually see people in the location projecting love in a different way. For example, uyamshaya untombazane, umbonisa uthando, of which it's not supposed to be like that. So I think that is the mentality that we need to unlearn as men. And the fact that amanye amachita, especially amachita, we must stop this thing. If ngibona ngiphethe ama-flower for umuntu wami, seningenze ngathi mina ngiweak bafethu. No, I must do that. It's part of especially with my wife, she will remind me, you must buy me flowers. She's so deliberate about flowers. So romance is very, very important. Romance is very key. It keeps the relationship going. It's those things, it's those little things that actually keep the relationship, going out on dates and dressing up. Actually, in our organization, the reason why we do gala dinners, we give couples an opportunity to dress up.
For each other and impress each other.
Impress each other. Like go out and look for an outfit. And we even have got an award for the best dressed couple.
Wow.
On the night.
Yeah.
Just to encourage them to say, you know what, look good, smell good, and present yourself, man. You are that guy. So that is part of the romance. Take care of each other, pamper each other, go on dates, go out on, what do you call those things, the spa massage and things like that. No. It's because we're coming from the location.
Yeah.
And we never necessarily saw our parents doing that thing.
Yes, true.
And to tell the honest truth, it's even difficult to see your parent kissing your mother kissing your dad.
I know, right?
That is how bad it has become. And we need to change that narrative. And I'm so grateful to my wife. My wife, when I get home from work, she would really come and hug me and give me a kiss. And, I appreciate those things. And if she finds me home.
Make you feel loved.
Even if she finds me home, it's the same thing. I must, like me, she's teaching me a lot, Shem.
Yeah.
Shem, that girl.
Kudos to her. Kudos to her because, when relationships go or age, politeness and those kind of things, they disappear. And I'm happy that you, being somebody that's been in marriage now almost 5 years, I think you're going on your 5th year, you've been able to maintain that because, again, when we're speaking about a family unit, your kids are going to emulate what they see.
Definitely.
You may tell them, you may teach them, you may make them write it down, but if you are not doing it yourself, it's something that they are not going to do. And just, you know, I think I had the purpose of this episode was for me to have one man talk to other men, you know, about taking responsibility and really elevating from doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, we have women, you know, we are equally guilty because just because you know muntu, that's enough. I don't look and ask him for that accountability because or whatever. I mean, I'm happy to carry the relationship while they are doing the bare minimum. So utini like amadota anjalo to say, what else can you do to elevate the status of a male person inside of a relationship? Mjolweni, which includes marriage, by the way.
You know, usually it's easier Mjolweni because you guys are still trying to impress each other. You're still trying to make yourself look like you've got things under control. But when you are married, that is where we need you more, actually. That is where you step up and show up as a man to say, you know what, I'm deliberate about taking responsibilities to make sure that things are functional in this house. I'm deliberate about making sure that the kids go to school. You know, my wife is well taken care of. You know, I must make sure that we've got a house. You know, I must make sure that everyone is clothed. But see, because it gives you pride as a man. You know, it's so unfortunate that men nowadays they don't see those things. It gives you so much pride to make sure that your family is taken care of. To see yourself actually playing the male role. You know, it gives you so much pride. So I'll urge men to say, you know what, let's take our positions, let's not shy away from responsibility. Let's take it up and they say what, grab the bull by its horn and drive it to where you want it to go. You know.
And even if you are not the breadwinner or but you still have a role to play because it's like but there are other ways to contribute in a relationship. Tulani, can you talk to men about that?
You know, I will start with my own relationship. We are so privileged that, for example, in our finances, we are running from the same pot. Whatever that comes in, we run from the same pot. You know, so there's no that thing of aguna mali kaya. So her money is my money is her money. I've been privileged to have such a woman who understands that thing, and that thing is helping us in. Don't make me feel inferior. That you've eliminating that part of feeling inferior, so that now when we come and sit and take decisions on what are we going to do with our money, you know, it's easier now. No one's going to feel inferior. This is what we have. If we've got a 10,000 in this house, that is it. We have to make sure that everything is going to scatter from here. You know.
I'm proud of you, from a sister to a brother.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I wish you well in your organization. If you could just let the viewer know how to connect with you in closing. Just a quick, your socials and contact numbers.
Oh, okay. We are celebrating marriages on Facebook, celebrating marriages on Twitter, celebrating marriages on Instagram, and on. I recently saw the team, they've put up a TikTok as well. So now we have a TikTok. You know, but personally as myself, I'm an MC. I'm MC. They call it underscore, not down dash.
Down dash.
I'm MC down dash or underscore Tulani on Facebook. Yeah, that's where I'm more active on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
thank you so much for
I've learned a lot
us.
from our conversation. Now
Thank
to you at home, as Tulani has alluded, we really do ask men to rise up in the relationship. Do not be absent and do not think that you've only got one position to play, because as life goes up and down, changes in your life can contribute positively also. You can find out things that you love about your partner by not necessarily, you know, putting a price tag on them. And you can discover a new part of yourself by really being vulnerable and open and available to your significant other that may be a woman. That is all we have time for on Mjolo with Refiloe this week. Same time, same place next week. Hi, Beboroko.